Hi there. Good. Almost Saturday evening, late Friday night. Um, if you're just joining me, congratulations. You missed the really heavy part. If you've been with me since 2 hours ago, why don't you exhale? Because we're gonna just get stupid and talk about just stupid shit. Fiction, movies, dumb stuff. Just a bunch of dumb stuff. Um, a couple of days ago. Was it? Was it that short? Maybe a week ago. I did the counter to this stream. Sean requested that I do movies that um, I don't like that people like, and here is its films. Here is its streams. Evil cousin films that I like that people hate, and this should get exciting. It was way too. You guys were way too easy on me last time because like most of you didn't hear of half of this shit. And having said that, I did my best to um find stuff within the last 20 years, within the last 10 years in most cases. Um No, I guess we'll just throw that up there first. Produced content. Patrons got a exclusive little 30-second video today that is a piece of a video that should have existed if the whole COVID destruction of our financial situation didn't happen. But you could support the channel and get some interesting stuff, like stuff that we never end up putting up, or stuff early, or other stuff choices, and you get to decide streams and stuff like this. That I really don't want to put this first one up. I just want to leave this here and not really talk about the first film that I want to talk about. Films that I like that most don't. Sean, wait, Sean, I don't love this movie, but Morbius I thought was a fun little vampire movie. Remember, Sean's the one that requested this. So, uh, wait, what? You're putting off watching my new Arrow Blu-ray of The Thing? Go watch that, man. Especially if it's the 4K. The fuck you watching me for? You know half of this shit. I could fucking you know it. You know. Hello, Emily. Fucking freak. Has no awareness. No awareness for the on air sign. That is non-existent. Yeah, right? Oh. Oh, Emily's seen the list, it looks like. Uh wait. Joe says for me, Friday the 13th comes to mind. That probably is one of my favorites in the franchise, as most dismiss it as average at best. It's in the top half for me, but the bottom half is pretty shitty. I'll say that. New Beginning's pretty tight. Yeah. You should watch Savage Streets because holy shit. Same director, same thought process, same amount of flesh. Part three. I meant. Uh huh. Uh huh. Mm-hmm. All right. Stop. Stop. Stop putting it up. Okay. State of Chucky. Don't love it. The pregnancy storyline is disgusting, but it has some good kills. Chucky is decent, and I don't mind the humor. Child's Play bar the first one. Never been that serious anyway. Yeah, but not that not serious. All right. All right, here we go. Number one. 2015's Jurassic World, as brought to us by Colin Trevorrow. Most people called it garbage shit. A soft reboot of Jurassic Park. I was perfectly fine with it. People made fun of the fact that there was like sprint flags and all these like mini commercials at the park. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think that shit's on purpose. That's what going to a park is like. You don't go to Six Flags and not see advertisements for shit. Um I think the stuff that people thought was so overt and like oh, Verizon paid so much to get product placement. Yes and no. Obviously they let their they did cross promotions and stuff, but I don't think it was I don't think it was an accident that it was so excessive and silly and stupid. Like the Jimmy Kimmel, excuse me, Jimmy Fallon, like the video thing that played before when they rode around in the fucking hamster balls. Like that's what amusement parks are. It was very Jurassic World. Listen, I'm not saying it's the perfect. I'm not saying it's better than Jurassic Park. They didn't have a scene where a T-Rex climbs over a wall, and then in a corresponding scene, that wall ends up being a cliff. They didn't have that in Jurassic World. We'll leave that alone. But um, it 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 was what it was supposed to be. I think. I think it was supposed to remind people what that franchise was. They kind of brought it back and introduced new characters. I didn't think the brothers were as obnoxious as everybody thought they were. Brothers hate each other. What the fuck? It was perfectly fine. It was it, by the third act, you're really worried about the relationship between the fucking brothers. Running on heels. Yeah, all right, I'll give you that. That's pretty fucking stupid. But if that's what your main gripe about Jurassic World is, then holy shit. Let me break out the biggest notebook I can find, and we'll talk about every one of your favorite films and a thing that I could compromise, comparably destroy just as easily as running in high heels. Uh, oh, up, up. Jurassic World is awesome. The whole series is about a dinosaur theme park, and this is the only one with people in the park. Oh, that's right. I didn't even get to that part. The assist to Sean, thank you. Yeah. And it showed you the park active. It showed you what a theme park like is. That was really, really, really neat. And again, the commercials and all that shit, and like all of that was so for like meant to be in there, not like a product placement. Yes, I mean, it's a major budget. It's fucking movie made $1 billion. Of course, fucking Frosted Mini Wheats wants their boxes somewhere in the screen. Yeah, yeah, whatever. But they were, back. This is back pre whatever the fuck the one that's out right now is called, and pre him getting Star Wars Episode 9 stolen from him. I thought Colin Trevorrow was quite a decent pick for the Star Wars franchise because he seemed to know how to soft reboot shit. And I don't know if you've seen the new Jurassic World yet, but maybe less so. Um, what? It's stupid how people freaked out over that nanny death scene with the pterodons. It's like, haven't you not seen a slasher movie before? Yeah, slasher movies aren't usually rated PG-13 though. So there's that. Um, Jurassic Park was always brilliant. Steven Spielberg always knew how to make non-gore feel respectably scary enough. Hi, sweetie. You wanna talk about shit that you like that people don't? Because so far everybody agrees. Oh, oh yeah, I probably should get you in here for that. I watched it again since I mean it might have grown half a star for me, but it's not that bad. It's certainly the best Terminator movie in a year with a 2 at the beginning. Yeah, I probably watched Dark Fate over. Maybe that's tough. Would I watch Dark Fate or would I watch Christian Bale? Well, obviously, if the reboot quel of Jurassic World is something I love that people really weren't fond of, then let's stay in 2015. And Star Wars Episode 8, The Force Awakens. I don't think I need to talk about this that much because my channel's been around since I think 2015. Uh, yeah, if you want, Cody, when if you want to unmask yourself. Oh God, let's all kiss Cody's ass. Wait, wait. I love Dark Fate. Except I didn't spend any money at the theater. Holy Christmas crunch berries, guys! Guys, he has not healed cancer. It's okay to disagree with the guy. The first is the only good one. First Star Wars or first Terminator? Force Awakens, for everything people say about it, I'm like, yep, exactly why I love it. It's just like New Hope. Yeah. Do you not like that movie? Because I think A New Hope is quite fun, and it's modernized, and it's great, and shit. I remember the teaser that came out the Thanksgiving before. Um, yeah, like 2014, I think they like Black Friday, they released the teaser. And I had not had a channel yet. And the first shot is John Boyega heads popping up, and it's a oh yeah, Force Awakens is episode 7. Thank you, Doug. I fuck it. I put Last Jedi on here too. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Star Wars. I just put the whole fucking thing. Nine Star Wars movies. Um, but uh, like when people were like, a black stormtrooper. That 2014 is when that like anti-Disney, anti-woke thing started, and people were pissed because there was a stormtrooper that wasn't a clone. There was a stormtrooper that was black. There was a stormtrooper that had his helmet off, and that the reaction to that is kind of what got me into wanting to talk about movies on the internet, because holy fuck, people complain about the stupidest shit, especially racist morons. Especially when you consider Star Wars, the franchise as a whole is like the most inclusive franchise. Period. All right, you don't like the fact that Stormtrooper's black, but you're okay with one of your heroes hanging out with a giant dog person. You're okay with dog people. What if they live next door to you? What if they're terrible? There's a terrible uh, prejudice against dog people with you know their neighborhoods. How would you feel then about a bunch of Chewies living next door to you? Well, anyway, I I quite enjoyed Force Awakens. I felt it moved very fast, much faster than um 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 what the fuck is a New Hope? J.J. Abrams, he can make an action movie. He certainly can. Fucking thing cruised. Um, I just wish the folks at Disney maybe got together and said, "Hey, what are we gonna do after this? What are our plans? 7, 8, 9. What do we got going here?" Because Force Awakens was a great jump start, and while well, never mind. You all know what happened afterwards. Movie number 3. Sticking with Disney. John Carter. John Carter, I think, is a very good movie that just has no star power. Yeah, all right, all right, all right. All right, here we go. Oh, whoa, whoa. Why are you doing that? Here comes the mob of, oh, whatever you say, I agree with, please. Whatever you say. Yes, you're right. You're right. Citizen Kane is the worst movie ever. Anyway, what was that? John Carter. I talked and chewed way too fast. Should have been called John Carter of Mars. The marketing for John Carter was terrible. John Carter made they lost so much money and had like really nobody in it. Bryan Cranston pre Breaking Bad getting like really fucking good was in the a fair portion of the first act. Had they known how shit that turnout was going to be, I would have thrown Bryan Cranston's name on the poster just to see. What do we got here? Well, people don't like Taylor Kitsch. I don't remember the lead female, but when you go big budget like this, you can't. Unfortunately, when it comes to big budget movies, you can't like fuck around. You've gotta get names and faces and shit that people recognize, because it just, how often have you watched a huge major budget movie that wasn't really depending on some gimmick that fucking blew your shoes off, that had a nobody carrying it? And that was most of the problem with John Carter. John Carter could have been a little bit shorter, just a little bit shorter, but it was fine. I think it was. I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying it's something that you go and put in the fucking Cinema Hall of Fame, but it didn't deserve to take a fucking nosedive in the cinemas. Speaking of nosedive, hi there.
Hey, I'm back. Everybody started agreeing with me again.
Have you seen John Carter, Cody?
I have not. I think I bought it. Hang on.
That's like 80% of the John Carter money. I think I own it, but oh, it's under my cup here. That's it. It's my coaster. I wouldn't call Michael Cera star power.
Well, I thought that I bought it, and I did.
Hey,
I bought this fucking thing, I think the year that it came out, because it was one of those movies that bombed before the internet really knew how to discuss movies. So everybody just like, oh, it must suck then.
Yep.
And then so many people were like, no, it's actually good. And then I bought it to give it a chance, and it's been
a decade.
It's on the list.
All right. What you got one? Other than Dark Fate?
Oh, movies that were hated that I actually loved. I'd have to go back through the year. We're on 2012. Let me pull up the Wikipedia.
Yeah, hold on. You know what? You do your homework. I'll keep going. When you smell something, you go ahead and chirp up. Next on my list from 2017, I'm not going by any year order for
that's
the
what fucked
record.
me up. I was like, oh, I'll start at 2012.
Yeah. You just what I did was I Googled bad performing movies or good performing movies or what I forgot, whatever the fuck I'm trying to say, whatever the title of this stream is, just Google it.
Good movies that failed at the box office. Let's see where that gets me.
Yeah, that'll probably help. Alien Covenant. Which I should have done this. You know what? I will. I'm going to do it the other way around. Number 5, Prometheus. I quite enjoyed Prometheus. What I don't enjoy about Prometheus, the only thing I don't enjoy about Prometheus, is the way they marketed it. You know what, Fox? You did so well with your marketing. You're now owned by Disney. So there's that. They tried so hard to get Alien fans to like get their Alien dollars in there. And, you know, Alien isn't a franchise that people recognize, like, unless you're bringing Sigourney Weaver back, you know, and they didn't do any xenomorph shit. I love the fact that it was something totally different in that universe. That this is Mandalorian before Mandalorian. The problem was the teasers and the trailers and everything played into that alien vibe, and they even did that weird that sound effect thing that they did in the original trailer that like die-hard Alien fans know.
That one?
Yeah, that I don't know what the fuck. It used to be my text tone for a while, but like you'd have to. It's like the same thing like when you watch a Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer, and they do that. You're like, oh, okay, you're doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing. I got it. And you know, like you're just playing into like certain parts of people's nostalgia. And Prometheus, it didn't need that. It was a very good movie. Little fucked with certain parts, like say running from a thing where you can just go one way or another. I understand. Yes, they could have ran in either direction from the giant rolling donut. That was a problem.
That's so fucking stupid. Fucking sidestep, 2 steps, you're good. I forgot about that. Why the fuck is she running for 6 miles in one direction?
And like the fact that they had to give us the birth of something that resembled a xenomorph. It was just like you had your own story. Just leave it. And you know that, so like retroactively I'll go to Alien Covenant. Alien Covenant, they really got hungry and tried to have their cake, eat it too. Sell whatever was left of it, tell people that it wasn't cake even if you were on a diet. Man, they tried to stuff everything they could into Alien Covenant, and they have a little bit of everything. And poor Michael Fassbender put in 2 incredible performances in that movie, and
I'll give it that.
They both kind of get shredded because, you know, Alien fans get disappointed, people who are Prometheus fans kind of get disappointed because you made a big deal about these people that made this giant nuclear silo planet
Kills
and then
them all off in a flashback
yeah,
sequence. For the
he's just like, yeah,
fuck
no, I
all
know.
of you.
I'm just gonna dump this shit all on them right there, and that's it.
Mhm.
And then they killed the flashback with Shaw. It was just like, dude, are you Rise of Skywalkering Last Jedi with Alien Covenant to Prometheus, because you're erasing an awful lot of what set the table here. But I was happy with some of it. And really frustrated with other parts, and I don't know. We'll probably never get the third piece because Ridley Scott, first of all, he says he wants to do it. The company that let him do the second one doesn't exist anymore, so there's that. There's got to
no
be
financial reason to do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I mean, it's annoying because you're left kind of with this missing little piece. I mean, you can kind of draw connections from where they left it off, I guess, but yeah,
it would have to be like a Hulu movie, and that ooh.
Yeah, let's see how Prey goes before we say yay or nay on that one.
Oh, that's another franchise that they just can't figure out, and that's frustrating. It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
You got one?
Well, I do have one for sure that we'll agree on, but there's one that I'm always confused on because I don't quite understand if it is a hated movie, but it seems people always say that it is. Steven Spielberg's Hook. Is that a movie that people actually hate?
Huh.
I know it's not one of his big critic darlings, but to me,
I know the critics thought it sucked ass.
Well, the critics can blow me because that movie
it's like
fucking awesome.
Like a 40 or some shit, right? It's below 50.
Yeah, but fucking Thor: Love and Thunder's sitting in 60s. That's cool. But no, yeah, I don't know.
Those scores don't matter.
If that one
anymore.
counts, that's absolutely one for me. I've always loved it since I was a kid. I've watched it a number of times as an adult. I introduced my daughter to it. Now she loves it. That's an absolute nostalgia does play into it, but it's a very enjoyable movie that I don't know. I think if you don't like it, you're probably just an asshole. But movies, I don't know if you covered this one. Movie that a lot of people hated on, and really up until recently continued to hate on, that I loved immediately, was Man of Steel.
Oh, that might be on my list.
Yeah, like I'm not a Superman guy. I haven't seen any of the Christopher Reeve movies. And I don't know if I'll ever get to them because I know if I watch them, I'm probably going to hate them because it's just not my type of movie. And
they're kind of doofy.
Been a long time. I think my time has passed. If I watched them as a kid, they had a chance.
Yeah,
but even as a kid, I never liked the character of Superman. Even the Superman animated series, I was always kind of annoyed. I'm like, Superman's got a fucking power for everything. This dude's lame. Like, he's got frost breath. He's got laser vision. He can fly. He's made of steel. Fuck that guy.
You don't know Superman until you've seen Christopher Reeve laying on a table in front of a green screen, man. That is cinema.
So Man of Steel came out, and that was the first time that I saw a Superman where I was like, I like this character. There's flaws. There's some humanity there. This is cool. This is different. And all the reasons that people bitched about it was why I liked it. Like, Superman doesn't kill. I'm like, even Christopher Reeve in that situation is fucked. Like, you're just holding on to dumb shit. And
it's like, how do you expect him to save everyone when there's this giant fucking like laser thing just taking out fucking you know,
they destroyed the whole city. I'm like, how the fuck would they not? And they always compared it back when it came out. They kept comparing it to the Avengers. They're like, well, the Avengers were strategic. They kept all of the battles to like 3 square blocks. I'm like, and then in Age of Ultron, they actually finally addressed like, oh yeah, a lot of fucking people die, and we're just like hanging out kicking ass.
And then and then when they revisit it in Endgame, you're like, oh, the fucking all of Manhattan's getting their shit pushed in.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just it's one of those movies that I've never really understood the hate for. I've never even understood the divisiveness for it. It's just one of those. Like a lot of times, I can put myself in the other person's shoes. Like, okay, I can see if you didn't think this was funny or if this was a little too dark for you. Like, this is one of those movies where every argument that I hear, I'm like, that makes no sense. That
Yeah.
my brain doesn't compute that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was fine. It was perfectly fine.
Hmm.
And Michael Shannon screaming, "I will find him" could be my favorite line in a film ever. What do I got? From 2019. This is a Netflix exclusive. Triple Frontier, which had Christmas Crunchberries. I think who is in it?
Oh, is that the one with Affleck and the
Yes,
heist movie? Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes,
I was like,
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck
They're
that
like
movie is.
they're like Navy SEALs or some
Yeah,
shit, and
yeah.
they're like they're fucking like you're like what the fuck? I'm
Yeah, they're
watching.
pulling off this big heist, and then they just fuck it up from
Yeah,
Jump Street.
yeah. You think you're watching Lone Survivor for like 20 minutes, and then you're like, no, wait, these guys are bad. There's something wrong. They're robbing people. And yeah, and shit goes south, and they gotta walk somewhere close to a safe spot, but they
Dragging
want to.
money.
Yeah, well, they want to keep their money and shit, and they're in like fucking, drug riddled fucking South America or whatever, and it's a good time. I quite enjoyed it, and people, for a Netflix movie, for a movie you could simply just say stop and get up and go take a shit. It wasn't released to theaters or anything. I don't know why so many people just like it just came and went and nobody talked about it. I was just like, man, that was
Yeah,
really,
even to
really
that
good.
point, like the cast alone would have bought my ticket immediately day one. And I don't think I watched it for like a year or two. Because it was one of those movies. I think it was one of those weird times where Netflix really was ramping up how many movies they were putting out. And of course, they haven't stopped because they put out like one great movie every few months, and they put out like 12 of them that are garbage. But this was right around the time where it just felt like they were just shoving everything, and then
Yeah.
Amazon was starting. So I think that's what it was. It was in that time where suddenly it was just like, we got too much shit to watch. And then 2020 happened, and we were like, please give us more.
Yeah. Tiger King. All right, fuck it.
Yeah.
Just put it in my veins.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't watch that movie for at least a year, maybe even 2 years, and I liked it. The only thing that frustrated me about it, it's kind of a trope in heist movies that people make stupid decisions and they end up fucking up, and then the karma bites them in the ass, and they all these people die and all this shit that they've lost and they gain nothing. But it felt like, if I remember correctly, some of the stupid decisions they were making was like really stupid. And it was like, all right, guys, you're like shoving it into that was a script writing thing for me at points where I'm like, how could you be smart enough to plan this, but too stupid to realize that this one little dumbass decision is going to be horrible?
Yeah, there was what? There was a total of either 4 or 6 of them.
There was quite a few. There was like 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had like access points covered, and like their viewpoints of like if a car was coming was pretty well covered.
If I
And
remember
like
correctly, they started to take more money than they agreed to, or they were taking too long, or something stupid.
Always happens.
Yeah, it was something stupid like that, where one guy, and they were like, "Fuck it, I guess we'll just go along with it because he's our buddy." I could be wrong, but
yeah,
there was
they point braked it at the end there.
yeah, yeah. We're going to the vault. Yeah, there's
we never go to
the vault. Yeah. There was 2 or 3 of those moments where I was like, really? Like, I think Ben Affleck even dies in a really stupid way, where like they got snipers and he just like stands up and chills, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, he's gone.
Yeah. You got anything on you?
Let me keep scrolling down this list here.
I can
these
bring
movies
my
all
notes.
suck.
I can bring one up that it's not that people shit on. Nobody's really heard of it, and that really needs to stop.
So good.
Guys,
Put
stop.
it this way, I only watch 2 movies as a must-watch every single Christmas.
Yeah,
Die Hard and The Ref.
yeah. Stop watching Christmas Vacation. Fucking take a year off. Take a
Leave
year off
Macaulay
on.
Culkin at home.
Yeah, yeah. Take a year. I'm not saying kill tradition. I'm just saying, go out, find a copy of The Ref, throw it in. Thank me later. Fucking movie's a Christmas classic, man.
Yeah.
I don't watch it around the kids. I'll say that. But
Just a warning, Kevin Spacey's in it. So that's an issue.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't that suck? There's so many awesome movies with Kevin Spacey where now as soon as you see him, you're like, oh man, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I had my finger on American Beauty and I was like, oh no.
I mean, you got The Ref, you got fucking The Negotiator's awesome that nobody talks about.
Usual
You got
Suspects.
7, Usual Suspects. It's
Seven,
like all these movies where you're like, oh fuck, yeah. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, he's even in Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, and I'm like, fuck, he's the boss. Fucking guys everywhere.
Yeah. Like the Horrible Bosses 1 and 2.
Actually, that actually fits. I wonder how he.
Yeah. Fucking knock over a genie lamp. Like, what's one of your wishes? Make Kevin Spacey good again, so I can watch these fucking movies guilt free.
Or just like change him into somebody. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like let him have his talent and put in somebody else or something.
Oh.
I got one here.
Yeah.
You have one?
I don't know if it's necessarily hated, but it's certainly very undervalued for the franchise that it's in. The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton.
Oh,
It's kind of like this weird black sheep because I think it was Paramount or something weird with the rights right before Marvel was all under one umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't really acknowledge it. Obviously, they recasted it for the rest of forever with Mark Ruffalo. They don't really, aside from William Hurt showing up in Civil War, that's the only real thing that's come through with this movie. But I think it's a really good, enjoyable Hulk movie. I think as far as standalone Hulk movies, it's easily the best.
Yeah.
And for some weird rights issue, they're not able to make more standalone Hulk movies, or we probably would have already gotten 4 more of them. But this is the one that it seems like everybody forgets.
Yeah, and something happened where people apparently Edward Norton's a fucking dick, because over the last couple a decade or so, people are like, yeah, we're not casting him and shit anymore because he may be a good actor, but fuck him. And it's like, yeah, but Kevin Spacey's in American Beauty, and he's
I don't remember what the specifics were. Apparently, he's difficult to work with. Like, he takes a lot of control or something like that, which I don't know. That's one of those weird things where you're kind of like, yeah, I wouldn't want to work with him, but goddamn, is he good when he shows up?
Yeah. Like on the special features for American History X, they're like, well, he kind of took over and directed the thing, and I'm like, fucking movie's really good. What's the problem?
Exactly.
Yeah, give him his writing credit and shut up.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Tony. Wait, what? There's a Tony Stark Incredible Hulk post-credit scene?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense though. You got
I don't remember that.
It was the second MCU movie. So the first one obviously is Nick Fury. Hey, we need to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the Incredible Hulk, and you got William Hurt sitting in a bar, and Tony Stark walks up, and he's talking about, hey, I heard you guys got this issue going on with this thing or whatever, and he says something about we're putting together a team. So it's just like another version of that, but it made no fucking sense because it's like why they didn't get the Hulk because he was awesome. They had to write around that. The Avengers were like, this guy can probably wreck some shit. We might want to try to wrangle his ass in. Send the chick with the tits in to go talk to him.
Yeah, now put your hand on his hand. That's how he likes it that way. I don't know. That'll calm him down.
We'll give you a pay raise. Just do it.
Yeah. People love to talk about Nicolas Cage. I got a movie for you. 2005's The Weatherman.
Never seen it.
Which is a dark comedy. He plays a weatherman who I think it was directed by Gore Verbinski too. I'm on a Gore Verbinski kick because ever since he directed Johnny Depp and everything Johnny Depp did in the mid 2000s. It's a dark comedy. Like he's shit on because he's a weather guy, and like whenever the weather's wrong, people throw shit at him. And Michael Caine's his dad in the movie, and Michael Caine's like, why did they do this to you, son? He's like, well, I was 6 degrees off on the temperature, whatever, and like he knows every fucking drink and where it's from just by like what it is on his shoulder. And Michael Caine's like, what is it? He's like, it's a Wendy's for us to eat. and it's just like, what the fuck's going on? And there's like you're in his head. It's Nicolas Cage, not too fucking Nicolas Cage, but like he's trying to do things right with his daughter. Him and his wife are splitting up. She's keeping the house, and it's fucking huge. And his daughter has issues. She's less than skinny, and let's just say she wears tight shorts, and has gained a nickname in high school or school or wherever the fuck, whatever. For those of you who don't know what happened with tight pants, you get a wedgie. And girls can get him in the front is the most I'll say about that. And it's Nicolas Cage's job to talk to his daughter and tell her about all that. And it's uncomfortably funny. And Nicolas Cage, as he's walking down the street of Chicago, he's just always in his head, and like he's just like just fucking spilling thoughts. Like it's like me talking, and then like he gets to a red light and he's like, I wish I had 2 dicks, and and then he's just talking to somebody else, and like it's so scatterbrained, the things that he's doing, and like he's horny, but he's the weatherman, so people don't exactly like him. It's really fucking dark because his daughter gets shit on, and he's got to try to fix that. And his son, who's like mid teenagers, 14 to 16, is the teacher's pet. And Nicolas Cage is the one to realize that the teacher's taking him out clothes shopping. And I'll leave it there. And I swear it's a comedy, but some dark shit happens. Give it a rent, especially if you're a Nicolas Cage fan. Where is Zach when I need him? Fuck. I wonder if Zach's even seen this. But The Weatherman, dark comedy, Nicolas Cage.
All right. I'm only going off of this list on IMDb of most divisive movies.
Oh.
So if this is not a movie that people tend to hate on, blame IMDb. The Butterfly Effect.
Oh,
certainly
I like
a movie.
that movie.
Yeah, it's certainly a movie I never really hear much people talk about very much, but I've always loved it. It's one of my favorite like time travel spins. And I think it's easily by a landslide the best thing that Kutcher ever did as an actor.
Preach. Yeah.
And
That's not saying much, but yeah.
And it's really fucking dark. Some fucked up shit happens in that movie. So it's the only time I ever see people bring it up is those stupid ass little like click through articles where you had to keep clicking next on Facebook. It's like alternate endings that were better than the original. And no, the alternate ending is shitty. Okay, it ends on a fucked up note, but it's not satisfying at all. The theatrical ending is actually a very good ending. So I've always hated that. That's the only time I ever see it talked about. It's like, man, what if we got that? No.
I need to rewatch. That's been so long. I liked the fact that, I mean, the butterfly effect. You know, the movie's named for a reason. But I loved how he would go back and try to fix something and fuck something else up, and it was just like, all right, now what?
And Sean mentions the sequels. The second one is definitely not good. It's a straight to video rehash with one of the guys that was on Disney So Weird, and it's the same exact plot basically.
Ooh.
The third one though is actually decent in my mind. It was one of those they really ramped up the horror. So in the third one, he goes back and changes the first thing and accidentally creates a serial killer. And the serial killer keeps going in all these different timelines that he's creating and fucking decimating people, like really gory. And the reveal of this, the killer and the motivation's very fucked up. So it's the third. I'd have to watch it again. I'm not saying that it's like awesome. It's not worth going out and buying necessarily, but for a couple bucks, which I'm sure is all it costs for Amazon, I actually would say to give the third one a shot. It's a pretty decent little horror flick.
Yeah, I'm quite a fan of American Psycho, and then I watched American Psycho 2 with Mila Kunis, and I was like, oh, this has such a different.
Who ended up being Ashton Kutcher's wife.
Hi, there you go, connected to. Hello, Amanda. There are some movies like I don't like cash-in movies like S. Darko. Now I'm onto shit I hate. I don't know why.
Go left, back up.
Yeah, they did like this straight to DVD fucking sequel to Donnie Darko, and it's about his younger sister, and it's called S. Darko, and it's fucked. It like it's such a shitty movie. Like they're trying so hard to like, you know, you can't put a sequel to Donnie Darko. It's like this fucking.
No. You should get smacked just for even presenting that as an idea in a boardroom.
Yeah,
like we should revisit.
Yeah. Like maybe if you wanted to say something about the house, that like the swirly thing from the fridge, like there's some crazy thing about the house, fine. But the sister, fuck you. Amanda, $10, thank you. Hope you're having a good night. Hope you're having a good night, Amanda.
Yeah.
Appreciated the yellow $10. I didn't even know they did yellow. Is that new? It used to be red, green.
I think it changes colors depending on the dollar amount.
Oh.
I have never seen Chappie. That's on this list, but that makes me think of Elysium. Which a lot of people.
I'll take both.
Huh?
I'll take both. I love Chappie and I love Elysium.
Really? I need to give Chappie a shot then, because everybody seemed to shit on that one. But anyway, Elysium for sure. I actually liked that better than I did District 9. And it seemed like everybody kind of dogged on it. And I'm like, why? Like, it literally delivers exactly what the trailer tells you it is. It's got some pretty gnarly action. Matt Damon's good in the role. Sharlto Copley, is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Pretty wacky little villain there. It's got some subtext. I mean, I didn't really understand what the problem was. I was like, that was pretty fucking solid. And everybody was like, no.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you want? Like,
dude, I laughed so hard at that. There's just an improv moment by Sharlto Copley when when he's in like it's like in the beginning when he finds out that they're like stealing shit, and he's got that like fucking super fucking jet or whatever, and he sends a missile out, and the shot is you can barely see Charlton Copley in the left hand of the shot, but when the thing explodes, he flips it off as it explodes. I'm like, yeah, dick. And that was total like that was just him doing that, just like fuck you. That wasn't direction. That was Charlton just being Charlton. Yeah. I thought it was adorable. I laughed my little eyes out.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. I don't know why everybody doesn't.
Yeah. Especially like Chappie, I can get because oh boy, does that did that what are they called?
Like two rappers or something like that.
Yeah, I know their name. Oh,
the chat will give it 30 seconds.
Yeah. Fuck. The girl with a really unattractive mullet, and
I thought you were gonna say face.
Well, sure.
I was like, you're really dancing around the word ugly there.
Die Antwoord, yes. Ben Grimm, thank you. Yeah, they make it hard. They make it hard to get through that movie, but Charlton Copley is the voice of Chappie, and has a good time. It's so funny. There's symbolism to raising a baby, and the things you can teach AI, and like, you know, if you have fucked up parents who steal and do fucked up shit, the kid's gonna turn out to be pretty fucked up. And the like Chappie character
remake.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Chappie's such an innocent, like, they have these moments like where they're taking him in the car, and he's like reading everything, and he's like, what is that? I want that. And he's like, what is that? The internet. I want that. I want the internet. And they're like, dude, you fucking have it. You're a fucking robot. But he, like, the joke is he talking like a kid. But they teach Chappie how to do very bad things, and you know, it's like a really fucked up version of RoboCop. Like a what was the movie you just brought up?
Elysium.
No, before that, with the parents.
Butterfly Effect.
Oh shit! No, man, I'm going fucking crazy. Oh shit! Well, there are elements of it that feel like a really twisted modern version of RoboCop, and not totally, just at parts where. Who is it? Hugh Jackman? Hugh Jackman's the bad dude, isn't he? The
Chappie?
Fucking,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's the dude with the fucking. He's got his own thing that looks like the fucking thing
Elysium
from RoboCop.
Suit. Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a list of movies I like that others dislike. Yeah, I forgot what this has become, but yeah, we're just straight, just being antagonists at this point.
Two other movies that for some reason seems to get a lot of hate that I've always really enjoyed is the first two Underworld movies. I get the sequels. I get why 4 and 5 people don't like, because they're not very good. Even the third one I think is pretty decent. I just wish they had a few lights on set.
No. The third one, essentially, if you saw the flashbacks in the second one, you saw the third one.
Yeah, and well, I tend to not like prequels as it is, so I always try to give a little bit of a buffer there, because I always have the same issues with prequels. I'm like, I know everybody that's going to die. I know exactly how this is going to end. I know how they're going to lead into the next movie.
Yeah.
And that's at best. At worst, it's like, look at all these Easter eggs. This is how the sheriff lost his teeth in Texas Chainsaw. Isn't that awesome? I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck. So that's kind of me giving a bit of a buffer. But the first two Underworlds, directed by Len Wiseman, I think are actually pretty awesome. The first one, there's a lot of lore to it. They have this whole vampire society and these little rituals where the elders go into the ground and are, sleeping for centuries as like a little break and stuff. And then you have the second one that the action's cranked way up. And
dude, even the first one with the prehistoric John Wick fucking shootout in the subway station, that was pretty fucking good for 20 years ago now. Jesus.
Yeah. So those are movies that I've always enjoyed. I've never quite. People tend to lump the whole franchise in as almost like it's Resident Evil, and I'm like, it's a lot better than Resident Evil. Come on,
yeah, they did. Oh, fucking Sony always seemed to release those at the same time. All right, we got Resident Evil, and then 4 weeks later we got Underworld.
Yeah, that was right when I started my channel. That was one of the first live streams I did with Sean. We were talking about Underworld, and I think we also did Resident Evil, like within the same month. They released the final chapter and whatever the fuck that 5th movie was called for Underworld, like within a couple of weeks.
Yeah, Blood Snores or whatever. Bed Sores.
I remember I watched the 4th one and I was like, oh guys, you became the movie they said you were. And then the 5th one was not any better.
Yeah, and Resident Evil just fucking. Hi, do you have a tripod? Anybody? Tripod. Anybody?
I have guilty pleasure with 4 of them.
Oh, the Resident Evils?
Yeah.
I think 2's the closest thing to
easily
the video games.
That's my favorite. I have some fun with the first one, even though it has no business calling itself Resident Evil. The 3rd one, kind of the same thing, but it's like a Mad Max zombie movie. I have a little fun with that one.
I think 3's my second favorite.
Yeah,
and then I'll throw 1 third.
Yeah, the 4th one has way too much slow-mo, but I like it because there's a lot of Resident Evil 5 in it. And at the time it came out, that was a lot of things that was forefront in my mind. I took my little brother to see it because we played through that game like 6 times. The other 2 can go fuck themselves.
Which is 4 the one where like when is it she's a clone and you just have like 50 of her shooting at a helicopter?
The first 10 minutes of the 4th one, and then they all die, and then he takes her powers away just so to give her powers back at the end.
Yeah, and then that's where the fight is on the boat at the end, right? Yeah. That's where I was just like, guys, you gotta start doing something different.
I'm watching I'm watching the Netflix series right now. I got screeners for it, and it's extremely different. I'm gonna be fat. I can't comment on what I think on it yet, but I can tell you that 3 episodes in, it's not going to be any less divisive of anything we've seen from Resident Evil so far. I'll say that, but it's very interesting. Some of the choices that they've made. It's like an Elseworld.
On the end of the films or different on the end of the games?
Well, I'll just tell you the setup of the show because that was in the trailer, so I don't think that's in violation of anything. So you've got oh shit, what's the dude's name? Who's the concierge in John Wick? You know who I'm talking about? Black dude with the glasses, got an awesome voice. Fuck, what is his name? I love the guy, and every time I try to think of his name, I forget it. Now, if I wasn't talking about him, I would know it. Anyway, he's Wesker. He's Albert Wesker.
Okay.
And the setup for the show is that it's years after the Raccoon City thing, and there's a new Raccoon City that's about to have another breakout, and it's him and his 2 like adoptive daughters, and the show's taking place in 2 different timelines, to where you got the daughter 15-20 years later with the last of humanity trying to survive, and then it goes to what's present time in the show, which is this new Raccoon City when they're teenagers with Daddy Wesker. And so lore wise, it's completely original. It's nothing to do with the video games aside from things like saying Umbrella, showing the dogs.
So the internet's going to go fucking berserk.
Yes. So the internet's going to go nuts because it's not an adaptation of the first game. But what's interesting about it, which I'm going to be curious on where people land on it compared to the movies, is the movies is trying to be the games while just saying fuck you to the story the entire time.
Yeah.
The show is something completely different with just the Resident Evil lore, the Resident Evil inspiration?
I'm pretty sure we've
Lance
had
Reddick,
this.
thank you so much.
Fuck yes, yes. I'm pretty sure we've had conversations numerous times before, but I'm going to ask you again. Where do you sit on Umbrella City from 9 months ago or whatever the fuck?
I think that they made a mistake doing both stories in one movie because
Right.
the first movie or the first game and the second game are constantly fighting for screen time, and
Yeah.
neither one really gets enough. But I think it's easily the best Resident Evil movie that we've ever gotten. Not that
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
high bar.
Right.
I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed all the Easter eggs. I really enjoyed all of the fan service and all of the respect that it did pay. That
Mhm.
being said, with a movie with that much love and that much respect paid to so many things, it really pissed me off what they did to Leon, because that was not Leon.
Yeah, a little bitch, man.
Yeah, and I can't think on my feed exactly. There was a couple other things that bugged me. There was some nonsense as far as how things worked, where like you've got they split up inside the mansion. You've got this character having a shootout with like hundreds of rounds being released and nobody hears it to come and help
Yeah.
him. You've got a
Yeah.
fucking helicopter that crashes into the goddamn mansion and only the two people in the room can hear it. Stupid shit like that. And I don't think it because they chose to do both movies simultaneously, they left
Yeah.
them in a spot where it's like, well, now what the fuck are you going to do? You
Yeah.
can't do 3 because you've blown up the city.
Mhm.
You can't do 4 because you made Leon a fucking idiot, and we're not going to believe that he's a Secret Service agent 4 years later. The only thing that made sense was them to do something like Code Veronica, but then you're doing a game that's one of the little, not really obscure, but one of the lesser known stories. And
Yeah.
so it was just weird. It was just like you didn't have enough faith to just do one movie and make that one movie good. You were like, well, fuck it, it's going to fail, so let's just go ahead and get both of them out of our system
Yeah.
now.
I look at the numbers and shit, and I'm just like, oh, I don't even know if they're gonna even try to give a sequel to this thing, and it's way better than a lot of those Sony Resident Evil fucking, I don't know, Mila Jovovich 77 times as a clone. Like, it's a hell of an effort. In a really weird time for movies that aren't exactly on the most sturdy ground,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to see more from that universe. It's just
I don't
I
really
don't think
understand. Like, again, I need to watch the whole show before I completely form my opinion. But certainly, one thing that I'm going to say in my review, no matter how good this Resident Evil series is there really nobody that just wants to adapt the first fucking game with like a 6-episode series? Like, it just seems like a layup. The story's there, the characters are there. You can obviously do great things with set design. That was another great thing that Welcome to Raccoon City did. It was like right out of the fucking game. I just don't get it. I'm like, you're trying to appeal to fans because they were pissed for how many years at Paul W.S. Anderson. Some of them were happy, some of them were just as pissed with this most recent movie. Like, that just seems like a no-brainer.
It is weird what
Series with the mansion thing.
yeah.
And then if it's successful, guess what? You just do the second fucking game, and then you do the third one, and it just I think that The Last of Us, when it comes out, is gonna change the landscape for how video games are adapted.
I hope
I
so.
think that most of them, from then on, if it's as good as I'm hoping it's gonna be, most studios are gonna go, "No, we're not doing a fucking movie based off of this 40-hour game. We're gonna put it on HBO Max and do a series."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the problem that most of them like Uncharted, that's geared for a movie if they had done it a little bit better. But things like Last of Us, things like Resident Evil, Gears of War, Metal Gear Solid especially, it's like, don't even fucking bother trying to put that story into 2 hours.
Dude, Resident Evil, you could make that a 10-episode series, and a zombie thing doesn't happen for 3 episodes. You just you're just with doctors, and they're like they think they're whatever. I mean, there's that one room with the dude who's taking he's got a diary and he's like keeping notes and he's like
Itchy Tasty.
Scott came, ugly face who killed him, Itchy Tasty. Like just let's stick with that guy for a little bit. Let's just see, like he's patient one or some shit, and open up the fourth episode with that. I mean, they did the shot beautifully in Raccoon City. The zombie chewing on the fucking dead guy and looking over his shoulder.
The fan service was on point, man.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I liked about the movie, because you see video game adaptations, and history to me has shown that you either do one of two things, and both are kind of mistakes. Vast majority of the time, they take the property, the name, the characters, or whatever, they do their own thing with it, and they alienate all the fans because they don't want to repeat that story, or they don't want to do enough, and so they just try to appeal to everybody that has no fucking idea what Uncharted or any of this is. They just want to go see a movie with Tom Holland in it. And then you get the second option, which Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City did, which is you just focus on the fans of the video games. You put in these references, you put in these Easter eggs, these nods, these winks, you do these perfect recreations, and all the fans are like, oh my God, it's like gifts for me all 2 hours. But people that are just walking in to watch a zombie movie have no idea what the fuck any of that is, and they get nothing from it. That's what was fascinating talking to Sean, because he's like, yeah, all these things that you and Rudy are saying are so awesome didn't stand out to me at all, because I have no idea where that came from. Itchy Tasty on the window, had no idea where that came from. The recreation of the police station, I just saw a police station. Like all these things. And so you have either appeal to the general movie audience or appeal to the fans, and whatever one you do alienates the other. And there's yet to be a movie that they find a way to balance both.
The weirdest decision that was made in Raccoon City, especially as somebody who watched it at home and popped it on, and I'm like, all right, this is Raccoon City orphanage. What the fuck's going on here? And kids are sleeping in the same bed. And,
they make Lisa Trevor like not the villain.
And I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? There's some fucking lady watching Golden Girls. What? What? I put on the wrong movie. This is not Resident Evil. And
they said in the 90s.
yeah. They that wasn't necessary. I don't think. I think if you trimmed all of that stuff, because you have to have Two-Face make the save there in the third act. But I think if you avoid that, you can stretch more of part one and part two and not put your own little twist on it. Although I don't remember an orphanage thing ever being. That was completely. Yeah, that was just
the movie.
Yeah,
that was just fluff to get some tension between the brother and the sister.
Yeah, it just made me confused. I was just like, fuck. My uncle gave me the wrong movie.
Somebody brought up in the chat, it's not a movie that I would say that I love, but it's certainly a movie that I appreciate much more than 98% of the population of Earth. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I know you're going to probably groan or have to go take a shit. That's one of those movies that I understand, though. It's not a Man of Steel situation where I'm like, I don't compute. Like, I understand 1,000% why people don't like the choices that they make. Halloween is very similar to Friday the 13th for me, to where I don't have a lot of nostalgia for that franchise. I have nostalgia for the first film because that's the only one that I had for years. So most of my Halloween viewing has been the same way where most of my Friday the 13th viewing has been, which is marathons, watching all of the movies. And just like in Friday the 13th, after a certain point in the franchise on Halloween, I'm getting very bored with the wash, rinse, repeat shit.
I get you.
And so just the same way that I find Jason Goes to Hell to be a movie that has no business calling itself a Friday the 13th movie, but it's a
high concept.
It's a very wild, crazy, entertaining breath of fresh air. I feel the same way about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, to where I'm like, I kind of like the fact that he doesn't wear the mask the whole movie. That's like a sign that he's about to go into fucking kill mode. I kind of like the fact that There's a little bit of an exploration of mental health and PTSD with Laurie. I really like the fact that we actually get an explanation in a scene that shows how she finds out that she's Michael Myers' sibling, because we never got that in the original Halloween 2. I like the gore in it. I like that, aside from that scene with Richard Brake in the first 5 minutes where he's like, fuck, like, take that out of it. I think that the Rob Zombie profanity fueled dialogue is much tamer in the second film. And
Dude,
I don't.
You have to go find the script page. It's hysterical.
Oh, I bet.
It's like fuck.
I bet. That wasn't ad libbed, was it? Oh no, it wasn't.
No,
really?
no.
It wasn't ad libbed. And so, and if you watch the theatrical cut, the one that doesn't have Michael Myers speak, I like the way that it ends. So aside from, and you got Brad Dourif giving a fucking awesome performance in that movie. Even though I'm a fan of the movie, he gives a performance the movie doesn't quite deserve.
Yeah, you never see him sad. You never really see him torn. Like, I've never seen him play somebody torn, other than actually very, very young in fucking Nurse Ratched. Well, what the fuck?
Oh, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, he plays somebody who gets rather fucked over in that movie. But I mean, we're talking fucking 40, 50 years here. But he in Halloween 2, I bought that he hurt. I bought that.
Yeah. So aside from the white horse shit, and aside from the way overdone asshole Loomis angle, there's not a whole lot in that movie that I find to be a big issue. But I understand the purists that are like, fuck that. Like if we had a Freddy movie where Freddy was not wearing his hat and he wasn't burnt and he didn't have the glove on except when he wanted to, like, I'd probably have some strong opinions about it. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's a movie that I do feel like is misunderstood a little bit, but I totally understand those that do understand it, but just don't like it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
From my perspective, I like something different in those franchises where we have 9-10 movies of the same shit over and over again.
Yeah, when you see like the white horse and the super long all white hallways, it's like, Rob, you're spending way too much time with music video directors. Cut that shit out, bro. That is way too high concept for this fucking shit. If I watched a Jason movie where I don't know, you had something even remotely close to that, I'd be like, no, I'm done. Hashtag not my Jason. And essentially that's kind of what Jason Goes to Hell was. I mean, I remember seeing that the first time and it was like, oh, so Jason transfers out of people's bodies and I'm not going to see the fucking dude that really kind of has been the dude for the 9 movies, and his heart beats in a funny way that makes you want to take a bite out of it so that you can be him. And all right, you know what, fucking whatever. And then the Duke, whatever, Creighton Duke, talking about, I've been chasing him for years. Yeah.
Well, you fucking suck at your job, son.
Dude, when are you gonna
you
fucking
haven't saved
step
a
up?
single fucking soul. God.
What is stupid? Why did they put that in there?
I don't know, man. He's a cool character. There's some cool ideas, but it's like you're like 10 fucking movies in. Too late for this shit.
Yeah. You can't kill Jason with this. You do that. Yeah. Well, why don't you tell somebody else other than a fucking camera? What the fuck?
Yep.
Yes. Roger keeps telling me The Hidden. I need to write that down. And what's his face? The director of Jason Goes to Hell. He even had to defend. He's like, I swear I didn't know anything about this hidden movie, because apparently it's a lot like this movie, The Hidden, that came out a couple of years before. So,
It's funny how that happens sometimes. It happens a lot in music where you get these
mhm,
riffs. Like I think Welcome Home Sanitarium from Metallica was getting a stink for a while where there was a very similar riff to some fucking band that nobody's ever heard of. And
mhm.
it's amazing how many times you'll have that where it's just like, dude, I swear to fucking God, I wrote this. Like it was an accident.
Oh, dude, it's same thing in comedy too. Like, you have a joke about airport security. I have a joke about airport security. It's like, yeah, all right,
Yeah, if
just
it's in the news, it's fucking
yeah.
free game.
Stole my Trump joke. Yeah, I bet. Desi, thank you, $5 super chat. Rob Zombie Halloween Duo are okay movies, just not okay Halloween movies. Interesting little caveat there. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 has the most brutal Myers. Octavia Spencer didn't deserve all that.
He wrecked her shit.
Yes, Adam Marcus. And he'll gladly defend himself if you go to the right spot. And then somebody will suck him off.
Yeah, don't you love the horror community online? You liked my comment. I'm forever yours.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't. Don't worry about that 55-minute video where I shred your movie. I didn't mean it the way I was saying. I mean,
That's
thank you
always the
for.
hardest part about this, man, especially in the horror space, because it is so much easier and so much more likely that you're going to cross paths with most of the actors, directors, etc. that made these movies than with any other fucking genre out there.
Mhm.
And it's so hard when a lot of them don't seem to understand what criticism is and just don't respect it in general. Like, I know it's hard to have people say the thing that you poured your blood, sweat, and tears into sucks. I get it. There's some ways that people can say that and can do the reviews that comes across very disrespectful, and I get that. There's also ways to do it that is respectful while still saying the same exact thing. And it's amazing. I've seen, you get like the responses on Twitter and stuff that I've seen, and especially when
Yeah.
you get into like the fan film space, don't even fucking bother trying to criticize those guys as gems. But you've got it's a hard relationship to have because in a way we're some of the biggest fans out there. Like we've made hundreds of hours of content, we put hours of work into into expressing our fandom. Some of us made careers out of it. And you have like this block where you can't like connect, or you're not quite the same relationship. Like I would love to walk up and be able to meet Rob Zombie because I love most of his earlier music. I respect him a lot as a filmmaker and stuff like. I would be awesome to meet him. But at the same time, like if I walked up and he's like, "Oh, you're that guy that did that 31 review," I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's me. Promise I'm a fan. Like, and so it's weird.
Dude, you gotta build, like, if you're taking stuff, if you're creating and throwing it out into the world, and all you're expecting back is, oh my God, you're the best. You're a fucking moron. You're an absolute fucking clown. Unless you're perfect.
One of the coolest responses that I ever got, I haven't had a ton of them, but one of the coolest ones I ever got was from Tom McLaughlin. Whenever back when I did my Friday the 13th review years ago, and somebody had sent it to him, I guess, and so he messaged me. I didn't believe it was him at first because it was like, why would that happen? But he messaged me, and one of the things that he said, because he really liked my review, but he one of the things that he said was, I like the fact that it wasn't a complete blow fest, because I actually had criticisms of the movie, and I was like, wow, you, sir, are a rare breed. Because like most people would be like, look at this guy, he gave me so many positives. Oh, but he had 2 minutes of negatives. Fuck him.
Must have been a fun experience, Cody.
Shut up.
Glad you experienced it. That's cool.
I really wish I could have experienced a live stream with him, but that got fucked up. Moving on.
Well, if he had giant tits and was in part 5, maybe we would have rushed.
I said moving on. You had to go there. All right.
What I'm not.
I know.
I was talking about Shannon Weary. That's who I was talking about. I don't know what the fuck
I was talking about the guy that got killed with the axe. Anyway.
I'm not a fan of critics referencing other people's opinions in their reviews.
Who does that?
Who does that?
I mean, there's a lot of people that will do it, but not reference where they got that information. They'll just say, "This is my opinion."
Other people's opinions? Wait, do you mean filmmakers' opinions or other?
No, I think he's talking about reviewers that bring up other reviewers or opinions in their reviews. I don't know who does that.
I don't watch reviews, man. If I haven't seen a movie, I don't watch a review.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know of anybody doing that. So
yeah, that's there can be such a thing as a movie fan who likes to talk about movies and people like to listen, and that's one thing. Then there's the thing where like somebody knows what the fuck they're talking about and is a critic. I think we need some sort of like test to separate. I mean, I'm not saying, listen, if you don't know a fucking thing about why a shot is set up, and a lot of the horror community, and going back to what you were talking about with touchy filmmakers, sometimes they're just like, yeah, but I had that fucking crazy kill, and I didn't make this movie so that you cared about what Steve and Karen did. I wanted you to like really fucking dig this fucking kill. Like, that wasn't the kill awesome? And it's like, yeah,
that was
all right,
10 seconds
yeah,
of 90 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes they're just I mean, I'm familiar with a bunch of people who are also YouTubers who make films that have no knowledge of film structure, that just they just do things and they don't tell stories. And I don't know. I don't if I'm going to watch something of yours, I get to say what I want. That's it. Yeah, if you don't like it, you watched what I said. You could say as much negative shit as you want about what I said, but I gave you. Go ahead.
My favorite one is when people, either the person that's mad about your opinion or people trying to come to their defense, go with that golden oldie of like, well, you couldn't do better, or you've never made a film, so you shouldn't say.
Yeah.
And I always I always use this analogy. Plenty of people out there don't know how to make a cheeseburger, but they can tell you when one tastes like shit.
That is pretty fucking good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be a fucking film student with a degree that's failed in the film industry or succeeded to be able to say, I understand why this movie is good or not so good. Like, no.
Yeah, well, yeah, but at the same time, like, if I gave you a burger that didn't have cheese on it, and I was like, hey, what do you think? And you're like, that's a good cheeseburger. And I'm like, hey, fuck face, there was no cheese on it. A little different. I'd like you to know what the fuck.
Oh no, yeah, you can go the extreme other direction.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, the most of us that like, I may not know all of the glossary terms.
Oh yeah, right.
I can still articulate why.
Yeah.
This doesn't work for me.
You could explain.
Yes.
Yeah, right. And
yes.
And I didn't mean for that. If that's what came across before, if you know what it is you like and dislike and can explain it, awesome. That's fine. Not everybody has to be educated in everything. I did. I just, when somebody starts talking about set design, you better know what the fuck a set design is. Who the fuck a set designer?
It's a set that they designed.
Yeah, the set design. The
Fake world set design. Oh shit, that's blue screen. Never mind.
Yeah, just don't start throwing words around to sound cool. Just
cinematography.
You could tell it's tense because the camera's moving, and that's tension 101. You're a fucking idiot because you don't know what tension is. It is not movement. Guys, run! I'm tense.
What's your next movie? Got any more in the chamber?
A movie that I did not want to watch, that I did not want to watch at all, and that I begrudgingly watched and actually enjoyed. The French 2000.
Who hates that? I mean, there's a lot of people that just won't watch it because
people. Yeah. I guess it's a different type of dislike. Martyrs is very, 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 very good. This is one of the movies that got me to. I mean, there's a handful of movies that got me to start reading movies, and it's hard. It's hard for somebody like me, especially with my short memory span. I'll read a sentence and I'm like, wait, what the fuck did I just read? Shit. Shit. Who the hell is this girl now? Does she have a name? Because if they said it a sentence ago, I don't know what it is. And it's fucked up. It's gory as fuck. It belongs on that list. It belongs on that really gory shit that you might want to avoid if you have issues, but at the same time, it has something to say. And it's got a really it's something that I really admire. I think about movies is bleak endings, and this movie has a
I don't think that quite covers it.
Have you've seen Martyrs?
I have. It was one of my earlier Patreon requests. I wasn't quite ready for it. It's a movie very similar to how I imagine a lot of people experience Parasite, where you never quite know where it's going. Things just happen and you're like, what the fuck? Where's it going now? And it was a really interesting story. It's brutal as fuck. And then
that old lady, I'm just like,
the hard thing that I had with it was that I felt like, and I know it's what they were going for. It wasn't like they did it accidentally. It's like the last 15 minutes straight of just watching the main character get the fuck beat out of them.
Yeah.
And so it's a bit too much. Be like, I get it. Like I can, it just goes on forever. And it's just like, guys, it's been like 15 minutes. You've beat her. You fucking done everything. There's nothing else you could do to her. And I'm just sitting here like,
that's where dude, that's the fucking French, man. I'm telling you, Irreversible could be 7 minutes shorter and just as good. But no, they gotta have a fucking 10-minute rape scene with no cuts and just leave the camera there. Nobody's comfortable, and it's just like fucking just all I could think of is like, the actors on set. So was that good enough? We did it in one. Oh, take two. Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Acting again. Acting really, 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 really uncomfortable. But the ending of Martyrs, the line that she delivers, the keep doubting. It's just like, all that for that.
Yeah.
That sucks. And that is a quote. God bless you, Luke.
It's almost artistic. I have one. So from 2012, this is a movie that I don't know if people hate it necessarily, but I don't really hear it get talked about ever. And I know the critics didn't like it, and I don't think a lot of people audience wise loved it. This Means War with Tom Hardy and Chris Pine and Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, where they're the spies and they're both trying to woo Reese Witherspoon. I think that movie is fucking hilarious.
Really?
I think it's really funny. It makes me laugh consistently.
I think I've seen it.
It's got a pretty good story, but like it's funny the hijinks that they get into doing all the spy shit, trying to like bug her house, and like there's a scene where they're both in a room with each other, like rivals, watching her talk to Chelsea Handler, and they're sitting there, and I die laughing every time they start talking about Chris Pine. It's like, well, what's wrong with him? And he's like, he's got these little girl hands, and Tom Hardy's like, he's like pointing at his hands, and he's like, so what's wrong with the other guy? And he's like, but he just stops it and waits, and he's like, well, he's British. He's like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? There's some great stuff in that movie. I think it's pretty damn funny. I think it tells a good story. I mean, like, there's not a lot of romantic comedies that make me genuinely laugh, but that is one of them.
Girl Next Door, Alicia Cuthbert. She's just a pretty girl. I think. Yeah,
I had the biggest like as far as childhood crushes, like my teenage years were completely consumed with that woman because of Girl Next Door and Old School.
Oh my God, she is an Old School.
Yeah, she's not in it for very long, but it's certainly Girl Next Door. I loved her so much that I couldn't wait to rent Captivity. Yeah. And this is like 15-year-old me saying this, so don't judge me now, guys. But once I was 30 minutes in and realized that this movie was one of the worst things that I'm ever going to experience in my life, the only thing that kept me watching was, well, maybe she gets naked at some point.
Dude, I just wish everybody would admit that. At some point in your teenage years, you watch shit because you're like, maybe her top comes off.
Yeah.
Maybe her top comes off. I'm watching some Lifetime movie and hoping maybe
that's what got me through the last hour of Captivity, was like, maybe, possibly. But yeah. I love Girl Next Door. That's a good one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a movie that I watched explicitly for TNA and actually kind of enjoyed. Oh, Life Force. That's fucking weirdo movie from the 80s, but like it's just this fucking dime. This Italian woman who's she's an alien, but she's just fucking head to toe naked for 45 minutes, and you're just like, I don't know what the plot is. I don't care. I don't care. She's walking around. She's a vampire. She's an alien. I don't know. Fuck it.
There was a movie called Spellbinder with Kelly Preston. You ever seen it or heard of it?
No.
It's literally a blatant fucking ripoff of The Wicker Man. I don't know how they don't get sued. It's literally her having this like 80s fueled affair with this random fucking guy, and then she lures him back to this village and they sacrifice him. Like it's beat for fucking beat almost. And I sat down and watched the whole movie with my dad, and I was still young. I was only like, maybe 17 or whatever, but I watched like the first 10 minutes, and I was like, this feels exactly like The Wicker Man, but it's Kelly Preston and she's naked a lot. And we just watched it, and I got to the end and I was like, that's literally The Wicker Man. That's exactly what happens. All right, cool, good movie. See you later.
Yeah, I see, Desi, I feel bad for you guys because that just doesn't happen enough. I don't know. Maybe there's some higher ups in Hollywood that are casting guys for their asses, crotches. I don't know. You can't show an erect penis, so that's really kind of a dick move on Hollywood's part. But we really
They know who has the problem.
We need to, fix things because.
There's a Magic Mike 3 coming at some point.
All right. Magic,
Hold out.
which, by the way, Magic Mike, and I'm like, hey, there's Olivia Munn's breasts. Okay.
I love how they do that in the opening scene because of all the boyfriends that got dragged to the fucking movie theater. They're like, holy shit, equal opportunity. And then that's all you get.
Whoa. Yeah. All right.
Great pick,
maybe there's 2 strip clubs we go to.
Yeah.
Wait, what? You want a great back-to-back TNA go Mardi Gras massacre?
I have long left behind that side of me that will watch a movie just for TNA. I need story and characters now. If there's a titty or two that's thrown in between all of that, okay, fine, I'll take it. But
I need
tons of dong and Jackass 4. Yes, there is.
Fair, but tons of dong and
that was my
Jackass.
That was saga. That was actually my tweet review of Jackass 4. Was I've seen 935% more penis today than I expected.
Oh yeah, that's right. Matthew McConaughey was in Magic Mike, and he was all right.
Yep.
It's, as long as there's something for the ladies. Listen, I feel less bad oogling or ogling, however the term is. The MPAA has a lot to do with it. The director was forced to remove male nudity from Fast Times because female nudity is passive. Male nudity is aggressive.
Okay.
Fucking stupid. Yeah, if the MPAA definitely doesn't. Those 2 A's aren't for France. That's for sure. Holy fuck. The most recent movie I did for who would like that? Just blowjob.
Wow.
Unsimulated blowjob. I'm like, can we cut away at least? I mean, I don't need to see it. Oh, thank you though.
It's gotta be interesting watch.
Please stop blowing people.
Who would like it? Do you like blowjobs? The end of the review.
And yes. Ironically, so they do. Yeah, there's that scene in The Aviator where that actually used to happen, where they would point out how much cleavage was shown in like certain angles of movies, and Howard Hughes literally made a bra that was more aerodynamic that would let the shirt appear to be like it was covering more skin, but if they bent a certain way, you got cleavage. And it's like, you fucking putting brilliant minds to some weird shit. Because what the fuck? Yes, indeed. Rest in peace, James Caan. That's a big loss.
James Caan, and we just lost Paulie today.
Oh, Paulie Walnuts. Yes, that's right. Tony Cicero.
You were in a mob movie or a mob show, man. Fucking protect him.
Bad.
And we just lost fucking Ray Liotta just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on, man? Somebody keep an eye on Pesci, please.
Dude,
Jesus.
You fucking De Niro and Pacino, man. You better get in some. Start eating some carrots, something.
My biggest guilty pleasure of all time is Friday the 13th New Blood. Okay. Oh, the year is officially half over. What is your favorite film so far?
The Batman's still number 1. X is number 2. Top Gun Maverick would be number 3. The Black Phone is definitely either number 4 or number 5. I feel like I'm missing one. What was the other one?
I need to get my eyes on that movie.
I just answered this question not too long ago, and I know Black Phone was number 5, but I can't remember what the fuck number 4 was. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, we're pretty we're jarbled, but we're pretty similar.
Fuck. Let me pull up the Wikipedia because that's going to drive me nuts now. But yes, that is 4 of them.
Yeah, I'm ex Maverick Batman. Jackass forever. I really like Doctor Strange, the first one.
I really enjoyed the second one. I wasn't really huge on the first one, actually.
I thought the second one was messy.
Did you watch it at home with a clear picture?
Oh yeah, I did. I Disney Plused it, okay. But yeah, and for everybody who says, "Oh, you have to watch WandaVision," I did watch WandaVision. I still don't fucking give a shit that the fucking I don't know what Sam Raimi's infatuation with putting like zombie face people in his movies is, but the second they have
I love that. I love the Evil Dead stuff that he was somehow able to squeeze in there.
Dude, it was so Evil Dead. I was like, what the fuck is this? Fucking Doctor Strange is all Evil Dead.
I was like, hell yeah. Get it in there, boy. Maybe The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah.
I feel like there was an obvious one. I'm not seeing it in the movies that I've reviewed either. That's probably my top 5. The Black Phone and then Unbearable Weight is number 5. I feel like I'm missing one that's obvious and I can't fucking think of it.
Jackass Forever is in my top 5. I haven't seen much.
Yeah, I mean, those movies are, it's hard to even think of them as movies. It was just, it's a bunch of skits. Like, I got a question, like, just a couple of weeks ago. They're like, are you ever going to do a review for Jackass 4? I'm like, how the fuck do you review that?
It's not a
I laughed. Yeah. See you later.
Yeah. It's not really a movie.
What's the worst movie that you've seen this year?
Oh,
mine is solid.
I know that. Right. Wait, hold on. And I think I have Ben Grimm to thank for this. Dashcam.
Yes.
Dashcam. Holy fuck.
I thought Morbius was my worst, and I was like, well, I guess that's a pretty passable worst movie of the year. And I saw Dashcam, and I went, nope, knock Morbius the fuck out of the way. That movie was horrible.
Holy fuck. She's an annoying.
That's apparently
person.
Really her. She is a social media persona.
No.
I swear to God, which makes it even weirder. They went out and got somebody to play themselves. And I'm like, what was I don't know if it was supposed to be like weird and satirical, or if they were like, fuck this crazy bitch, let's make her look really stupid in this movie. So like she's gotten like a lot of hate online ever since because people watch the movie and can't stand her as a person in the movie, which she totally destroys the movie. Any little bit that had going for it, she destroys it every single time she opens her mouth. But she actually does the little car rap thing, and she actually does have these weird, like, extreme political views and conspiracy theories.
So she lives in LA and is all about fucking Trump. I don't
know. I don't know specifics. I know she's anti-mask and anti-vax and all of that. So I'm sure it eventually heads that direction. But yeah, I just did a little research before I reviewed it, and I'm like, why the fuck would they do that? Like I know when you make movies in Hollywood, you tend to be very left, so it's very easy to have an extreme right character and make them miserable just to kind of make a point. Like, yeah, you're supposed to hate this bitch because blah 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 blah. Yeah. But they actually went out and got somebody that is that person, somehow got her dumb ass to sign up to do it, and then made a movie with her. And I'm just, I don't understand the motivation for that. Because like the director's got to look at this and be like, you're fucking insufferable. Yeah. But he's going to put his second movie and hinge it on her shoulders after he actually had a lot of success with Host.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it was the guy who made Host, like, in 2020, and everybody's like, "Holy fuck, you made a movie in the pandemic era with cameras and not even like, it was actually somewhat impressive," and it's hard to impress me
Dude,
with a found footage movie, and then this is your second day at the office.
when she was like fucking yelling at people in the British bar or whatever, I was like, no, 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 you're not in your country. You're
Yeah.
not in your country. I don't know if this is a gag. I don't know if this is scripted. I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, I was miserable
S-
watching that. Like, I was
yeah,
texting you the entire time. It's only, like, what, 70 minutes long,
it's
80 minutes
short.
long or something like that?
It's
It took me
thankfully
about
short.
3 hours to get through it because I had to keep
Mhm.
taking breaks and watching something on my phone or talk for a bit because it was just so grating, and I was just like,
Mhm.
I was waiting, like, are they gonna kill her off and have some kind of a victory? Like, I don't understand the point. There's gotta be some kind of a premeditated point to have a character this insufferable in a movie,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
spoiler alert, no, nothing happens.
yeah,
She just keeps on going, and it's just like,
yeah.
"Oh, so there's not even a character arc here." Like, it's not like she goes through this and changes, like, there's not even some weird not even that. Like, I don't
Oh,
know what the fuck what were you doing?
she doesn't enjoy Alex Jones, ironically, like sane people. She legitimately buys into his nonsense.
Yeah, I didn't
You
go
know,
far down the rabbit trail, but I found
I
enough.
don't.
I found actual videos. It's in my review of her doing the whole car rap thing. Like, that's actually a thing that she does and has a big social media presence. And she's a singer for some band I've never heard of, but she's gotten more known lately for the conspiracy theories and anti-mask, anti-vaccine, and all that other stuff. And so it's just they literally got her to play herself in the movie, which is weird. It's
Yeah,
like, did you write the movie for her then, or did you just like? I would be fascinated to know because it was miserable.
I mean, you can. It's not like you can't make a lead character that's like a right winger that you can follow or whatever. I mean,
No, no, of
from
course. Like,
from
that's not what I was saying. Yeah, it's just
no,
that
no,
they.
no. I wasn't implying that. I'm just
Yeah,
saying that, like, just so the chat knows, we're not saying that she's annoying because she was like had right wing views. Like, um, that school shooter movie. I got news for you. That movie's just fine.
yeah.
Um, Run, Hide, Fight is just fine.
Hmm.
Sorry, I don't care who produced it. Uh, it's fine. Girl saves the day. Fucking kind of
If that
fucking
movie was released in the '80s, it would be a cult classic.
yeah, yeah. Die Hard in the school.
Yeah,
It's
you would have Run, Hide, Fight, and Toy Soldiers as a double feature.
yeah, yeah. And you could have presented the Wrong Turn remake in a very interesting fashion to have it, at least discussions to be had about both, Hicks and these, kid liberals, and there's an opportunity there to like it's not like Hollywood just can't do it. They just don't do it because they're fucking Hollywood. Elephant did it first. I cannot get my hands on a copy of Elephant.
That's not. I watched it once years ago. It's ultra artsy.
Yeah, but we need to talk about Kevin. Same shit, but like, who the fuck runs around with a bow and arrow
Yeah.
at
I mean, Elephant's
school?
just very weird. I mean, you got the movie focuses on a couple different kids in the high school, and two of them end up being the shooters, and they make out in the shower. They're both dudes. They make out in the shower just because they're gonna die, and they're like, "I never kissed anybody." Fuck it. And
Sweet.
they go to
I
the
mean, just
school, and
gross.
the way that they do the shooting stuff is very it's a movie where I'm like, I don't know what the point is aside from just showing a school shooting. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Maybe I was
Hmm.
too young to understand the artistic message that Gus Van Sant was
Right.
going for, but it's one of those movies
Gus
where I
is
was just
weird.
Yeah, that's one of those movies where I was just like, okay.
Yeah. S. Craig Zoller, there's the director's name. He's very conservative, and he does all those. He's a part of that crew that makes all those fucking Cell Block 99,
Yeah, his shit's
Bone
awesome.
Tomahawk, those fucking movies. Those are good movies.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Eastwood, another out right wing guy. The Mule, I thought, was fucking perfect. Fucking fucking old dude who's running drugs across the country, but he doesn't know exactly how to talk to people who aren't the same color as him, and it's funny
Mm-hmm.
because it 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 happens. It's like 40% of the country is a bunch of old people who don't know exactly how to say African American. They say something else, or Mexican American. They say something else, but they're not doing it maliciously. And Clint Eastwood's character is he's very. I mean, fucking guys, he's running drugs for fuck's sake. So I mean, whatever.
I'm cool with you running drugs. What the fuck did you just say?
What'd you call me?
He fell off after Unforgiven. That long ago, huh?
Whoa, Jake. Did you miss the Get Off My Lawn movie?
Yeah.
He directed what the fuck? Yeah, well, he direct the Boston movie with Sean Penn.
Oh yeah, he's directed a bunch of shit. He's directed
Mystic River?
He
Yeah,
directed Gone Baby Gone.
He grabbed the yayo from the back of the Grand Touring. Yayo is that is a derogatory term for cocaine. On a side note, any thoughts on the movie coming out called Bros? Is that?
I'm not aware of Bros.
I will look into it. I am frightened. It is a 2022 film. Billy Eichner's in it. Guillermo Diaz. I know who Guillermo Diaz is. Luke McFarlane. Bros. Two men with commitment problems attempt a relationship. Oh, it's a romantic comedy where they're gay.
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, anything noteworthy about it? Who directed it? Stars?
Nicholas Stoller, director, who also directed nope, that's a producer credit. He also directed Storks, Neighbors.
Neighbors with Seth Rogen.
Get Him to the Greek. Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, okay.
Not bad.
All I had to hear was Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and I'm interested. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Get Him to the Greek is a pseudo sequel.
Funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
P. Diddy or Diddy or Puff Daddy, whatever it's supposed to call him, was shockingly funny in that.
The furry wall.
When they're all high, he's chasing. You can't outrun me. I'm black.
And like he's like fucking eating his own heads.
Yeah. You got that assistant that's talking shit to him. He's like, "You're 2 zippers away from Thriller." He's like, "You're 1 shirt away from Carlton, motherfucker." That's a good one.
Vivarium. Oh, Vivarium.
I'd never heard of it.
That's Is it Jesse Eisenberg in that movie? Did I just?
Oh, is that where they're like doing the fake family thing? I
They're
remember
stuck in like a fucking neighborhood that
something. That was one of those movies that came out when nothing was coming out, and I was
yeah,
curious
that
about it, but
was.
I had watched 4 or 5 other movies that everybody was raving about and hated them all, and so I stopped trusting people and
I
just
feel
went into
like
my dark corner and watched my Blu-rays.
I feel like that's a child of COVID. That movie. I think
Yeah.
because we had no other choices, and it was like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah. COVID gave me some very, very, very bad movie experiences where everybody was so desperate to have movies that they liked things way more than they normally would have. Plus, you have
Oh
the
yeah.
horror community's tendency to praise things just because it's there. And so that movie, the fuck was that movie where Kevin Smith or Kevin James was the Nazi bad guy? It's like
I
it's
have
like a little
not seen
girl.
them.
Yeah, little girl Home Alone situation where Kevin James is the bad guy and it's a slasher movie. And I was like, this is either going to be garbage or it's going to be the greatest thing ever.
What?
Becky, thank you. Yeah, so Becky, I thought that movie was trash and everybody was like, it's so good.
I didn't
The
see that.
rental, the rental with fucking Lip from Shameless
Oh.
and the guy I can't remember his name from The Guest. Everybody was
Mhm.
raving about that, and I was like, "This isn't very good." And it just turns into a slasher movie in the last 10 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, this is why they liked it."
Mhm. Mhm.
And then you had the best of them, but still was way overhyped. The Lodge.
I
That was
enjoyed
one
The Lodge. The
where,
ending was fucked up.
and to be fair, the person that recommended it to me basically told me what was happening while they were recommending
No.
it. So it's this movie where,
Was it
like,
me?
no, it wasn't you. It was a dude at work. It was one of those people that watch movies and just tell you everything. Like
Mm,
that's their way of expressing. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I review movies. I don't want to
yeah.
hear beyond the initial setup. That's all I need to hear. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, it's about this chick who used to be like in a cult, and she goes off with the kids
Mm,
and the guy that she's dating, and the guy leaves, and they start fucking with her, and then she goes crazy and kills them all. And like that's not what happens at the end, so I didn't spoil
mm,
anything. But I'm
yeah.
saying that's the
Yeah.
type of description that he gave, where I'm like, okay, I'll watch it immediately. What the fuck? Like,
I'm trying to. Well, wait. Let me. COVID. We were. 2020 was basically a wasted year. Let me see what we got there. No, no, no. Man, I make too many lists. Note to self: stop making notes. Um. Oh, did you see Black Bear with
mm,
with Oh, I forget her name. Uh, Big bulgy eyes. She was the chick that Seth Rogen wanted to bang in the comedian movie with Adam Sandler, where they were all stand up comics, and Adam Sandler was essentially Adam Sandler in the movie, and
yeah, I
Seth
know the
Rogen.
movie.
She was the neighbor that ended up fucking Seth Rogen's roommate. Fuck. Fuck.
I don't know, dude. You said big eyes. I'm stuck on that. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
You
she's
said
got
big eyes.
fucking. I'm pretty sure she does not have eyelids. I'm almost certain. Um,
I gotta.
Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a movie that's kind of split in half. It's a little funky.
Gotcha.
The Lodge. I'm looking at 2020. Invisible Man. I thought was okay. That was right before COVID though.
What was it?
Invisible Man. The Invisible Man
Oh yeah,
remake.
of course.
Yeah. Arkansas, I was pleasantly surprised that nobody's fucking seen it. The Hunt, why they delay that?
This is why I never listen to movie reviewers. That means
Why? What happened?
I don't know.
Wait, who said that?
Culture Trini. I'm guessing must be a big fan of all the movies I just said I didn't like.
What do I got? What do I got? Possessor. I thought, for a Cronenberg, pretty good.
Good for one watch.
Yep.
Good. Pretty brutal, interesting story. Not a movie I would revisit.
Correct. I agree. What do I have here? There's a lot of shit that came out in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of shit. You Should Have Left made me angry. Made me literally angry.
Was that the one with Kevin Bacon?
With Kevin Bacon and Amanda Seyfried.
Shit movie.
Oh my God.
They have him playing like a fucking Freddy Krueger version of himself down in the basement. Like, we're not supposed to realize that's Kevin Bacon immediately.
Yeah. It's like him, like in 10 years or whatever.
I don't know. That's one of those movies I watched, bitched about for my review, and then immediately forgot everything.
Yeah.
The house is smaller on the inside than it is on the outside. Isn't that fucking terrifying?
This hallway is actually a little bit thinner than the one that we walked into. So who fucking cares, man?
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those ones where you're like, the fuck else am I gonna watch?
Yeah.
You're just sitting there like,
Kevin Bacon in horror is usually a pretty safe bet. Like, he's had some really good ones. There's a lot of ones that are underrated. He's got that movie coming out with Blumhouse this year, They Them. Have you seen the trailer for that? Have you heard of it? He is the leader or one of the leaders of like this safe space lodge or something like that, where you're gonna get transgenders and people with identity to like a bunch of those people in, and it's going to turn into a horror movie. I didn't watch the trailer
Jason
because
Blum just can't stay away
from. It sounds like it's going to be like The Hunt, to where people are going to flip out, and it's probably going to be more clever than you would think.
I hope so.
I didn't watch the trailer because Blumhouse trailers show you the entire fucking movie in 2 minutes. Yeah. I watched the Black Phone trailer. I watched 30 seconds of it. I went, that's enough. I've already seen the first 2 acts.
Yeah. No. Hey guys, go back and watch the last Halloween Kills trailer. You'll see the ending that did not appear in the movie.
He was on Twitter getting pissed off because everybody keeps asking him where the trailer is. Every time he tries to promote something else, they're like, yeah, that's great. Where the fuck's the trailer?
Yeah.
It was funny because I retweeted it, and I was because he was like, some of you fans are so harsh, and I retweeted. I was like, Halloween fans? No, never. And then like maybe 12 hours later, Dave McRae saw it and did this almost the same exact retweet. I don't think he even saw mine. He was like, Halloween fans? No, never.
Yeah.
Once they drop Ends, which I feel like Ends inevitably is going to be one of those movies that 50% of the people hate it, how they end it, and 50% of the people hold it up to the gods, because it just feels like it's going to be one of those movies. But I'm going to be
fascinated. I need an explanation.
I'm going to be fascinated to find out what this fan base is going to do after this October.
Fan base? There's about, I don't know, 9 or 10 YouTubers that I don't understand how they're going to comprehend what to do with themselves after that movie comes out. The thing he said about Robert Englund kind of I got secondhand knowledge of, like, he said something to the effect, I'm
oh no, I can tell you what he said.
Okay.
He was being asked about properties that he was trying to get his hands on, and he was talking about Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. And he says, if we basically said, if we're going to do this, I'm going to get Robert Englund back. And they're like, well, Robert Englund doesn't want to do anymore. And he's like, I can get it back. And so on one hand, I was paraphrasing it, but the way that the article read it.
Oh, maybe I read your tweet. Maybe is what I saw. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Maybe, but yeah, I mean, I've been pretty vocal. I don't think we need to have Robert Englund back. I'm one of those Nightmare fans where I can embrace somebody new in the role as long as they're good. But it was weird because on one hand, I admire his confidence, where he's like, if anybody can get it back, it's me. I'm that confident in my ability as a producer. But on the other side of it, I didn't like how pushy it sounded, where it's just like,
Yeah,
dude, it's been decades at this
yeah,
point of this guy saying, I'm done, move
yeah,
on, stop, find
yeah.
somebody else. And the fact that we still, as a fan base, as a movie studio, can't get past the fact that Robert Englund says that he's done. It's just like, I just don't understand. I don't understand what the point of it. If you're going to get the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise rights and you're going to put all this money and time and resources into making another movie that's hopefully very good, and you're going to put it in Robert Englund's hands, well, if it's good and it's successful, now you got to reboot it anyway because you sure as fuck ain't going to get him back for more than one.
You better get him first, because you think about all of these like giant franchises where there's actors that are like, no, no. Ghostbusters, Bill Murray from like fucking 1990 was like, I'm done. I'm not doing a third one, whatever the fuck. Harrison Ford, back when they were doing the original Star Wars trilogy, he's like, I should die in Empire. He's like, I fucking kill me, man. What the fuck? There's that. There's another one that I'm fucking misremembering that just doesn't want to do the movies anymore, and it's just like, you know, let they're people.
Well, I mean, you look at Robert Englund, and it's like, what else could he do with the role? He's covered the entire fucking
Yeah,
spectrum of what you could do with Freddy. He's done the dark, serious version. He's done the comedic cartoon version. He's done the meta version. He did the fight with Jason. Like, there's nothing else really for him to explore.
yeah, yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street. I think, especially considering we really have only had. I mean, I don't count Freddy vs. Jason when I think of the franchises, because it's like this one-off weird fucking thing for both franchises. You can kind of just shake your head and forget about the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street. We're kind of due. Just restart. Just fucking restart. Do something. Do something wild with it. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think they need to go back and redo the whole origin story again. Like, I think
yeah.
Freddy is enough in the public pop culture consciousness where we don't need to have that explanation. You could start the movie like Dream Warriors did, where Freddy's just doing his thing and just opens with a nightmare. And we don't need any more explanation. He's the fucking villain. He's killing people. Now what are we going to do about it? And like, go wild with the dream sequences. Put some fucking money and some resources into doing some shit we haven't seen before. You can't go and do a modern Nightmare on Elm Street movie and play it safe and go simple with it. You can't. Like, you got to do some crazy shit we haven't seen before. Otherwise, it's like, what the fuck's the point, man? It's been decades.
Do some shit where, like, I mean, if you can kind of cheat it too, and introduce his character and do a little backstory, and like have like a TikToker go to like the place where Freddy was burned, and like, you know, because there's all these like you know, real real fucking horror people, like people that go to like where fucking real murders happened. Emily watches a bunch of that shit, and I'm like, oh, Emily, I that's not entertaining to me. I don't.
Yeah, my wife's the
Yeah,
same way. She likes all that real world serial killer stuff.
yeah,
I did like a
yeah.
little mini pitch idea. I did it like off the cuff when I was doing a Q&A, and then I did a video a couple of months ago where I was talking about horror franchises that need a reboot, whether it should be a remake or a sequel to do that. And I was talking about an idea for Nightmare on Elm Street, to where if I was the one making the decision, I would try to do a direct sequel to Dream Warriors. And the way that I would kick it all off is like in Dream Warriors, you had where they buried his bones in that junkyard, along with presumably John fuck, why am I forgetting his name? Nancy's dad. You
You
can
think
tell I'm
I know? You're
tired.
fucked.
Yeah, you can tell I'm tired. Anyway, Nancy's dad, somebody will bring it up. And so the way that you could start off the movie from there is that you have where they're clearing out the junkyard or whatever. John Saxon, thank you. You're clearing out the junkyard, and they uncover the remains of Freddy and John Saxon there. And they do the DNA test on the bones. Like, this is fucking Freddy Krueger. And then all of a sudden, that story starts spreading again.
That's
like
it. The thoughts in the head.
Viral spreading, just like nowadays. And the children of the surviving Dream Warriors are the ones that start having nightmares then. And the adults can't do anything about it because they're not having nightmares. So they're just trying to like teach their kids, like get involved as much as they can, but teach their kids how to do those dream powers and shit that they figured out in the third movie.
You could have like a backhanded homage to Logan Paul too, like fucking whenever he went to that suicide forest and people went fucking berserk over that, got a lot of publicity. Just something similar to that, where like people are like, oh, can you believe someone, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, Dice. You want the second one. You want the second one.
Just remake Freddy's Revenge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, somebody brought up 6 before 2, and I was like, somebody take a shot. And Cody's here, and they brought up
every time, 6. Dude. Every time I do a movie where I'm like, this movie sucks. Like, is it worse than Freddy's Dead? Wink emoji.
You're doing the cons now. Give it a little bit more time before people ask you to sign something about Freddy 6 sucks or some shit. It's gonna come, man. It's gonna come.
Anybody that's got a copy of Freddy's Dead for me to sign, I'm charging double.
Yeah, the price.
Fucking smart asses.
Picture $5, autograph $7.
Freddy's dead 45.
And I'm keeping the fucking thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, it's well past my bedtime. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Wait, let me make sure I got everything I had on my list. The ref, weatherman, murder, stripper, frontier. Yeah, it made it a little easier to go. It's a hell of a lot easier to go back and forth when somebody's here. And we got a little bit of that 2022 halfway thing done. And so far the year looks kind of shit. I'll be frank.
I think we'll probably be surprised with some of them, but this was a year that was weird for me because the only movie that I was just like really, really focused on was the Batman, and then we got that out of the way in March, and so ever since I've been like,
that's what I'm saying.
Really, and then I go see it, and I'm like, oh, that was good.
Top Gun, fucking. I was like, wow, I wanted to hate this. I wanted to make fun of this, and all right.
See what else we got. So
Tom Cruise can't fucking miss, man.
Yeah. I'm very curious on Nope, although that's another trailer where I feel like I've seen the whole movie.
Ditto. I've seen some of that, and I think I think Brian's right. I think Mr. Peel is a one-hit wonder.
Maybe. But we've got Nope that I'm intrigued on. Bullet Train looks like it's going to be fun.
Who's in that?
The movie with fuck, what am I trying to think? It's right here. Brad Pitt. Damn, I'm tired. I can't think of Brad Pitt. Where it's if you haven't seen the trailer, I'm amazed because I've seen the trailer at every fucking movie I've gone to in the past 6 months. But yeah, it's
movie theater. What's that?
So Bullet Train looks like it's going to be fun. Samaritan coming out with Sylvester Stallone finally. That was a movie that was supposed to come out like in 2020, where it's like an original superhero thing.
Okay.
This Salem's Lot movie that we still haven't seen shit on, and it comes out in September.
Hasn't that been pushed to fuck? That just keeps getting pushed.
I guess. Hocus Pocus 2, that's a big one for me. Cool. Clerks 3, I personally don't care, but it seems like everybody else is really excited.
Yeah,
Halloween Ends. Black Adam, I genuinely don't care, but of course I'm going to see it. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, see Black Adam. Creed 3, which I still have not seen shit on. I would not be surprised if that gets pushed, but I will be there. Avatar is really the only like giant one left where I'm like, I'm very curious on what that's going to be. And then he came out not too long ago. He's like, I might not direct 4 and 5. I might just give it to somebody else. And everybody's like, thank you. Make something else, motherfucker.
Asshole.
Yeah.
You wasted literally 14 years of our lives dicking around with this bullshit.
You just know, like I hope it's good because I do like the first Avatar. I haven't rewatched it in years.
Is that accurate? We're getting a Jeepers Creepers this year?
We were supposed to be, but there's like a big rights issue where apparently they shot and edited and promoted the fucking movie and they didn't have the rights to make it or something weird.
I want to do that so bad. Just fucking shoot something and be like, and here's Friday the 13th. What do you mean? What happened?
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. The trailer for that was weird anyway. It looked almost like it didn't look like Jeepers Creepers. And so while I'm excited that somebody else is doing the movies because maybe we'll get some interesting ideas, at the same time I was like, this doesn't look like the movie that I remember it.
What happened to
Collector?
Who?
I thought you were talking about the third Collector movie, but keep
thinking. Yes. How the fuck did you read my mind? Thank you. Yes.
The last that I heard, they started shooting some shit in 2020 and then stopped, and then the studio just kind of stopped talking to everybody that was making the movie and like in limbo, and they're like,
hey, should we come to the set today?
Yeah, let me look that up really quick. Maybe there's
nobody's here. Leave a message on the machine. Bye.
Yeah. Let's see here. Sequel.
Dice, if they give me money, that's what I'm making. And people are gonna be like, why? And I'm like, fuck you, it's my movie. And I'm gonna piss some people off.
Doesn't sound good. Filming began in September 2019 in Atlanta. 2020 happened, so production obviously shut down. Cast expected production to pick up again by late October. Filming was then believed to begin once again in Vancouver in early 2021, but production never took place. In April 2021, Marcus Dunstan, director, claims that props were stolen from the set and that the producers had not been in contact with him since the closure of production and that he does not have the rights to the film, preventing him from finishing it.
Yeah, like, just get the shit out of here. We can't make a movie if we sell all this shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, it doesn't sound good. That's a very weird situation. Why would you green light it and then just say, oh, never mind?
Well, this may be the last time I'm talking to you until I'm on Brian's time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go out of my way to prove that I can fucking talk to you at whatever hour he makes such a big deal about.
Tea time?
Yeah, whatever. What is it right now? It's 6 a.m. for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. Let's go. Don't give me this kids bullshit.
Oh man. Well, safe travels, I guess. I mean, I'll talk to you. Obviously, it's not like we only talk around here. But
yeah.
when are you supposed to be like actually leaving?
Monday. I'll be there Tuesday. We'll see if they let me in. I could be back here Wednesday.
Wow.
I'll be in Scotland.
So you're just gonna fly, get off, and do the Inception thing where you throw your ID down, and hopefully they let you do the little turnstile.
The Inception. Yeah, I'll just fucking spin the thing.
That's what I pictured.
I have one. I'm just
That's what I picture is him going, and he's just like, please, 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 please. And they're like, welcome back to America, sir. And he's like, woo! It worked.
I'm bringing one of theirs back. So yeah, this one I married.
Rescue one of your own, isn't that good enough?
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I don't know, but I think so. I think for visiting purposes, I think I'll be okay.
Okay, you're just not gonna tell them you're not planning on cutting that visit short, I guess. What Mama don't know, don't hurt her.
We'll see what happens. I mean, Emily came here and we hate immigrants here, so
yeah,
way harder than they do.
We'll see.
Well, anyway.
All right.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you for the chuper sats.
Stupid chats.
And I'll probably check in with everybody from a very different time zone. Cody, got anything coming up?
Your sleep schedule is so fucked up that you'll be on their time.
I'll be fine.
It'll actually be normal for us.
Yeah.
They'll be like, hey, he's streaming at 3 PM. What the fuck is this? What's coming up? I don't know. I got I did Thor: Love and Thunder today. I was planning on doing like a re-rank of the MCU because I haven't done that in a few years, but I think I'm gonna wait until November when Black Panther comes out because there's some movies that I need to rewatch. I really did not enjoy Love and Thunder, and I don't know if some of the previous MCU movies will age well for me, so I kind of feel like I owe it to go revisit some of them. I still have the Hitcher review, the one for the remake that been waiting on Brian, but his is done, is in the can, so we'll release that sometime early next week. And then I'll be continuing on with my little tier list series where I'm going over like the second film in the franchise and the third film, and now we're at the fourth one.
Yeah, right. And if I'm in the UK on Wednesday, I'll be able to set up a tripod and a camera, so no more streaming. Well, not no more streaming, but whatever.
Not as much.
Yeah. Actual content to maybe fucking shoot or something. This place, I just get me out of here. Thanks, Cody. Thanks, everybody. Have a good morning. Yeah. Toodles. Oh, come on.